So if you were starting YouTube today, what camera should you buy? Okay, so this is a subject I could talk about pretty much all day if someone was willing to listen. So hopefully you like this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. We do a lot of tech stuff on this channel, but other stuff as well, live streams. We've got a podcast starting called Tech is Hard as well, with myself and Danny Black. Go and check it out, I'll link it above. And yeah, we talk about all things tech, but all things creator, YouTube and stuff on there as well. It's lots of fun. So in 2020, nearly 2021 now, what camera should you choose if you were just starting a YouTube channel now? It's a subject which is tricky because it depends on really what you're going to do on your channel, whether you're doing vlogs and walking about outside, or you do a lot more studio-based videos like this. There's loads of things to consider, so I'm going to try and unpack a bit of that for you today in this video. This is just my advice. There's nothing in particular that you have to do. You can just start on your smartphone. This is the iPhone 12 and it's got fantastic video, 4K 60, 120 frames per second, 240 frames per second, and it's decent quality actually, so you got some slow-mo in there. The stabilization is pretty good as well. But when it comes to mobile phones, it's just, mobile phones have just got that sort of look to them there. You can always tell when somebody's recording on a mobile phone. There's a few annoying things that people do when they're using their phone, and that is to look at themselves instead of the camera. The camera is always, it's always on the left or the right hand side depending on which way you're holding the phone. And you've got to remember to look at that side where the camera is, not at yourself, because then your eyes are going like this and you're not looking at the lens. You're not looking down the screen at the other person on the other side who's listening and wants to listen to what you're saying and look at your face and make eye contact with you. Also, phones, the audio isn't the best. It's prone to wind noise. You can hook it up to something like a Rode video, what's this? You can hook it up to something like a Rode SmartLav Plus with the adapter into the iPhone or whatever phone you've got. Very good microphone for YouTube. You can do all sorts of creative stuff like this, so you can walk off and have like a, I don't know, you can have external audio and sync it in post, so there's stuff you can do with that. And you can put your phone on a tripod, so you can carry it like this, and you can do time lapses. I do still say the smartphone is one of the best cameras for time lapses, slow motion, that kind of stuff. When you need it, you don't necessarily need another camera for that. If your camera doesn't do that stuff, you can use this. It's very good for time lapses in particular. You can just bang it on the tripod and leave it there and just do some nice time lapses. So yeah, there are apps where you can live stream through the Wi-Fi on your computer, so you can do live streaming with this. It's a better webcam than you would get in a USB webcam or anything else that's built in, like this face cam on the MacBook. You can use this as your webcam, which is a hugely better option as well. So it's one option. Kids walking past the house making a lot of noise. Move on. Go. Be gone with you. Good option if you're just starting off. I've got to admit, it's extremely capable, especially these days. The iPhone 12 is pretty amazing. Anyway, next one I would go for, if you are a vlogger and you're out and about, the best thing you can get is an action camera. A GoPro or a Osmo Action, or not the Osmo, not the Pocket. Don't get the Pocket because it'll just break. The Osmo Action or the One Insta X, whatever it is, the modular camera. I just got some kind of affiliation with GoPro. I love the brand. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's got like that GoPro. It's been around for so long, it's like a myth. It's like, you hear GoPro and you think, yeah, cool. That's what I do anyway. The cameras, I'd love to recommend buying a GoPro, but they're expensive, nearly £400 for the new one, the 9, and you get so many issues with it. There's battery issues, there's freezing issues, the flipping tappy screen on the back is just so bad, it's unbelievable. But the image quality you get out of something so small and compact is fantastic. 4K, 5K in the new GoPro 9. And the one thing the GoPro cannot be beaten on is the stabilization. The stabilization is pretty phenomenal in the 7. It's even better with the max lens mod, although you can only record in 2.7K. My mate Danny Black did a video on the max lens mod. I'll link it up above because it's unbelievable. You see the difference from this to that is crazy. But even if you're just walking, doing vlogging, and you've got that nice wide angle view using something like this in there with an external audio source plugged in with the adapter. The new GoPro 9 and 8 had the media mod, which isn't fantastic for the audio, but it's better than the inbuilt one. So there's lots of options when it comes to GoPro, and when you're vlogging and you're bouncing and you're walking and stuff, it's just so smooth and it looks fantastic. You can use this as a pretty capable webcam as well if you're doing live streaming, so it's multi-purpose as well. So vlogging, it's good for time lapses at time warp mode where you do the walking. That's unbelievable as well. It's got so many good things. The slow-mo's not bad as well. I would, if I was starting YouTube today and I was just doing sort of vlogging videos, I would go for the GoPro 100%. It's down to personal preference. If you're out and about, definitely the GoPro. It's a phenomenal thing. There's loads of accessories. Get the original ones because they're far superior to the third-party ones you get off Amazon. Suction cups you can stick on the side of the car. You've got different tripods. I've got mounts, chest mounts. I've got head mounts. They're brilliant. You can use it and be creative with it. So many different things. So yeah, I love the GoPro. I really want to say don't buy anything else, but I can't because it's just so unreliable sometimes. It freezes, I have to yank the battery out, the files get lost every now and again. Like I said, the touchscreen is just awful. I use it a lot, but I wouldn't work for GoPro and sell them because I just wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But they're good and bad. They have fantastic things and they have bad things. If that makes... Is that English? Is that even English? I don't think it is. Anyway, GoPro. When it comes to cameras, there's a plethora of different options out there. I can tell you what not to go for and what to go for. As far as video goes, in a studio environment and out and about as well, I can't think of any other brand I'd go for other than Sony at the moment. Video-wise, they are leading the way. Autofocus is crazy. The stabilization is pretty good. The image quality is very, very good. They have no overheating issues in the newer ones at least. And there's a decent amount of sort of second-hand lenses out there you can choose from. Go for a mirrorless one. I'd probably recommend the A6600, or if you want to go full frame, the new A7C, which is a full frame version of the Sony. Yeah, that when it comes to video, Sony are leading the way at the moment. What I wouldn't go for, and it hurts me to say, but I wouldn't go for the Canon EFM range because I think they're going to be phasing it out over the next couple of years. It's a shame because this is a camera that started my YouTube career, the Canon M50. They released a new Canon M50 Mark II recently, which was just an absolute, well, it was a joke. It was the same exact camera with a few little tweaks like no crop in 4K, and they didn't upgrade it at all. Still 720, still 8 in slow motion, still 1080p full frame, 4K, still no autofocus, no new battery. It was just terrible. And although this camera has served me well over the years and it hasn't let me down, there's a lack of lenses for the mount. This is the only lens I bought and stuck with, the kit lens and the Sigma 16mm f1.4, and you can get that for the Sony systems as well. So if I'd go for this lens definitely because it's an unbelievable lens. What f1.4, all that bokeh, all that YouTube tone that you get in the background, and I'd go for Sony 100%. The other cameras maybe I'd think about changing to, if I was changing to a camera right now, would be Fuji. I'd go for like the X-T4, save up for that. If you can't afford that, go for the X-T3. There's XS10, I think, is the other new one. It looks pretty good. They've got good colours, the autofocus is good. So Fujifilm or Sony are the cameras I'd go for. Canon have just sort of hit a brick wall at the moment. They've had problems with the R695 release recently, although this is the R6 I'm filming on. This is my photography camera though, and just sort of in the studio sitting talking like this with the Sigma 35mm on it. It's an amazing camera, but there's just so many things on it that cripple it and could make it the best camera in the world, but it doesn't. It's a little bit frustrating because I spent a lot of money on it, but for me, the photography wise, it's a camera to have. Video wise, if you're starting a YouTube channel, definitely not. Definitely go for Sony. Think about your audio when you're starting a YouTube channel as well. I know we're talking about cameras in this video, but make sure you get a good audio setup, because that makes the videos so much better. You can have sort of crappy video, but if you've got good audio, then it sort of makes up for it. New GoPros, you get the medium mod or an external microphone, because you can clip different microphones onto it. For the 7, you can get these really cheap at the moment, and they're the ones with the first model with hyper smooth, which is unbelievable. I'd get a Rode SmartLav to plug into there, and that's pretty much it. That's 14 minutes of me rambling about cameras, but I told you I could talk about this all day. I think if you're starting a YouTube channel, I would start with a GoPro if I was starting a YouTube channel today, especially when it comes to vlogs. I'd then move up to a mirrorless camera and go for Sony for video. Maybe if you can afford the A7S III, then yes, the best camera out at the moment, I think, or go for their crop sensor cameras. I know Danny's got the A6500 or the A6400, because you've got the log in there as well. You can play with it. I could talk about this all day. I told you I could talk about this all day. But those are your options. At the end of the day, get out there, create, make something. If you're thinking about doing it, then do it, because you've got videos to look back on in years to come. Worst case scenario, if you could become a major YouTuber, then you've made a full-time career at something, and it's something that I love doing and will carry on to do until something stops me. Just GoPro, man. Sort out the new one. The new GoPro X or 10 or whatever you bring out has to be better, and then I'd sell them for you. I'd go out there and sell them to grannies and to give to their grandchildren. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, press the bell so you don't miss any uploads, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy, boy.